Give it 2 seconds. And then see.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
I get this one. All right, all yours.
Okay, so everyone, please have the courtesy and mute yourselves, or the staff will. So good evening, everyone. Today is Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. Welcome to CB13's January full board meeting. I am the chairperson of the community board, Lucy Mojica Diaz, and we have our staff here, which is Eddie, the district manager, Barbara, our community coordinator, Hannah, our community associate, and Lucia, community assistant. We all have the little community titles. So if you need to reach us, of course, you all know how. For those that are new that don't know how, they will place it in the chat, the phone number. So we're going to start with a presentation, or just basically to introduce himself. I don't know if he has any PowerPoint, but it's to introduce himself. The new alliance of the Coney Island, the new executive director of the Coney Island.
Meeting is being recorded by the host.
For the Alliance for Coney Island, Daniel Murphy. Go ahead, sir. We'll give you 10 minutes.
I won't even need that, except if it's questions and answers. It's going to be very low tech. Can you first question is, can you guys hear me okay? Good. Okay. The second thing is, as I said, my name is Daniel Murphy. I'm the new executive director at the Alliance for Coney Island. I'm taking over Alexandra Silversmith's job. Alexandra did yeoman service for the Alliance for several years. I'm stepping into those big shoes. I'm going to give you my email first. So if there are any questions from this introduction and you have any questions to follow up, email is the best way to get me. It is Daniel, D-A-N-I-E-L, at allianceforconeyisland.org. It's Daniel at allianceforconeyisland.org. And my phone number is 718-594-7895. 718-594-7895. Now, many of you know the Alliance. In the past, we do a lot of activities on Coney Island, a lot of summer activities with the amusement park and beachgoers, amusement parks and beachgoers. I would like to just talk about two things we've done in the past few months, and we're continuing to do, and that is on Mermaid Avenue. We have contracted, and you saw we had Christmas holiday lights on Mermaid Avenue this year, thanks to a generous grant from the Councilmember Kagan, and some money from the Small Business Services. We were able to pay for those holiday lights on Mermaid Avenue. And speaking of lighting, we will be installing permanent lighting to some 63 businesses along Mermaid Avenue for safety purposes, given another grant from SBS. This came out of discussions we had with Mermaid Avenue merchants about what they needed. It turned out public safety, quality of life issues were very important. And so we put out a request for proposals for an electrical contract to install lights for after hours that will be turned on through the photo cells. And 63 businesses have signed up for that. We should be starting that project in the spring. So those are just a couple of projects we are working on for the neighborhood. That's it. I wanted to open up any questions and answers you might answer any questions you might have for the Alliance. But if you don't, you have my number. Again, it is 718-594-7895. And the email is daniel@allianceforconeyisland.org. But I'm happy to take any questions from you guys. And if not, I'm happy to meet each and every one of you. Personally, I am a member of my own community board in Sunset Park, Community Board 7. And so I know how hard you guys work. I know how much you guys get paid to be here. I get paid the same over in Sunset Park. So I really appreciate working with you guys and all the advice and help you could give us at the Alliance. That's it.
Mr. Murphy,
Yes.
Queenie Hewling has a question.
Queenie, please to like raise hands, and once people raise their hands.
I'm not on.
But I'm gonna allow you to go ahead, but let's raise our hands. Go ahead, Queenie.
Well, I'm not on. I'm on a call.
She's on the phone.
We'll tell you how to do that.
The question I wanted to state to Mr. Murphy is that on the lower part of Coney Island on Mermaid Avenue, the Christmas lights are still up. I don't know if you're aware of it or not.
I saw that today, yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank
I
you.
saw it. Thank you very much for that. So a little bit professionally before this, I worked for 10 years as the business improvement district in Brownsville, directing that on Pitkin Avenue. So holiday lights are old school for me. They put them up faster than they take them down. So sometimes we have to call them up to remind them to take them down and get on them, and I will do that. Thank you for pointing that out.
Barbara?
Daniel, I really have to disagree with you already. You may say we don't get paid, but we do get paid. We just don't get money. We get paid every day in 1,000 ways. When I go on the boardwalk and I see the carousel and the boardwalk, you could see into carousel, that came out of the Parks Committee. So I am telling you, Daniel, we get paid. It's just not money.
Amen.
Okay, that's a good way to see it, Barbara. I keep screaming that I would like our elected officials to give us a stipend, but hey, maybe we could bring that up for new business at one point. Ramon.
Hey everyone. Hi. I just it's great to meet you, and I just wanted to know what your vision is for the Alliance, and what are you hoping to change or improve, and if you could just let us know briefly. Thanks.
So I don't want to take up a whole bunch of this community board's time, which has an agenda tonight, to tell you about all the ideas I have. I have a lot of them, but the first principles are having a safe, clean, and welcoming geography for anybody who walks down Surf Avenue or Mermaid Avenue, the two main avenues that we're concerned with at the Alliance. And that means getting the best retail there for both the folks who live here 12 months out of the year, and for the visitors who make Coney Island a special place. So we have a lot of new buildings going up on Surf Avenue. I am concerned with filling those first floors with the best possible retail. Going down one street, we also have to concern ourselves with Mermaid Avenue and the vacancies there, because so many of our residents walk down Mermaid Avenue to the train stations. It's their local shopping district, and so we are very concerned with quality of life issues there as well. Other than that, there's a lot of things that we do. We have to think about the events and things like that and making them better and even more accessible in the summer. Everything from the New Year's Day plunge on January 1st to the fireworks displays in the summer.
Anyone else? Milagro Quiles? You would have to unmute yourself, dear.
Okay.
There you go.
Hi. I know he mentioned something about lights going up on Mermaid Avenue, and that I think 36 people have applied. How could you apply for those lights?
It was 63 businesses have applied for for extra lighting in front of their stores. If you apply by emailing me and speaking to me.
Okay.
We're looking at the proposals now. We have to speak to our board members about who we choose to do the work. But as for the businesses, we're still open to speak to businesses and work with them.
Okay. Thank you.
So let you folks know. Thank you, Milagro.
Thank you.
Okay, I just want to thank Dan. He met with Annie and I believe it was last week. We have a vision together. The greatest thing that I can find out of it is that, as he mentioned, he knows what community boards can do, what community boards can do as a community board member in his own district. So we're going hand in hand, moving together. So I thank you, and I thank you for taking the opportunity to talk to our community board members.
Thank you. It's the first of many conversations I have with the entire board and you guys as individuals. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys.
Okay.
Ciao.
And we have a beautiful space over there by Maimonides ballpark.
In Maimonides ballpark.
In Maimonides ballpark,
We're at the
sorry.
former MCU branch on Surf Avenue. And so please, every weekday I'm here a lot of Saturdays as well. So drop in, we take visitors.
And he has coffee all the time because he's a coffee drinker, but.
If you call me up ahead of time, I will make coffee for you.
Okay, good evening, Dan. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Good. So now we're going to our public session, which would I allow three minutes per speaker, no specific order. Is there a representative here for Councilman Ari Kagan?
Yes.
Okay, would you unmute yourself in 3 minutes?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Ayanna Williams. I am the Director of Constituent Services for Councilmember Ari Kagan. Over the last few days, Councilman's been trying to cover all the things that are going on in the district. Operation Hood had a candlelight visual for Naeem Wright, the student from Liberation that was sadly killed. CM attended that. In other words, he's also trying to more aggressively address the security issues in Coney Island houses, along with the pest control issues there. At this point, with the things that have been going on, Councilman helped secure $600,000 in funding for a trauma center to be built in Coney Island, because a lot of these things happening are taking a lot of psychological toll, and people need grief counseling and every type of mental health counseling, all things that are happening definitely need special attention. Aside from that, he's still adamant about, the MTA's bus proposal not being, none of that stuff is necessary. They don't need any changes for the worse. They don't need to take anything away. If anything, they need more buses. And that's pretty much it for the recent stuff.
Does anyone have anything to address with the councilman, and she can relate it back to him? I see no hands, so thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a representative here for the Assemblyman Alec Bernassi? Is there someone here from Alec's office? Okay, is there a representative here from the Senator's office, Jessica? Office?
Yes, here I am.
Go ahead. 4
Hi.
minutes. 3 minutes.
First, I want to congratulate Daniel of the Alliance. We look forward to working with you. Please do not hesitate to contact us and keep us informed of all the happenings and what's going to be going on in the community. Welcome. The senator is in Albany tonight, but she wanted me to share this information with you. The senator attended last week's Transportation Committee meeting, and thanks everyone for their input and feedback. Our office sent the MTA chairperson and the New York City Transit President Davey a letter expressing many concerns that residents shared at the meeting. And the comments were sent to our office regarding the proposed bus redesign plan and advocating on behalf of all our constituents. So we did that. So if you have any questions, let me know, but she's very concerned about that and did send letters. Our offices continue to host mobile offices. We will be sharing schedules for the following week on the Senator's social media. Please follow Senator Spanton on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Okay, so she is on social media. Our Black History Month celebration will be happening on February 23rd. Save the date. More details will be coming up soon and shared with the community board. And we look forward to working with you with anything. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm there on Tuesdays and Thursdays in the library. Okay, so I'll be there tomorrow from 1:30 to 3:30 at the mobile office.
Okay, Olga, thank you. And I again want to thank her for taking the initiative and being one of the first elected officials to jump in on this MTA issue.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
She's very concerned.
On this MTA issue, it is very concerning as I said, I mentioned, I was speaking earlier at an event, and one of the things that I brought up was, the safety of the children. They're moving it from 1 to 2 block distance to 5 blocks. And, as I was writing this on a train, it just hit me that, children get off the bus. And if they get off that bus and they're in trouble or something, running 1 block to like maybe bang on the bus driver's window for help is 1 block. And what's going on in this craziness and what recently happened with the child from Liberation, now a child has to run 5 blocks and a senior has to walk 5 blocks. So those things, as we start thinking, more things start coming into our head on the danger that they're not even thinking. They're just thinking about, I have no idea what they're thinking, maybe saving money somehow that they don't have to stop at every location. And, but we just have to keep emphasizing what the reasonings are, because everyone has personal reasons as to why. And we thank her for taking the lead on this with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
We have
Barbara has her hand up.
Yeah, thanks, Lucy. Thanks. From what I was reading, it seems to me that they thought this would save time and traffic moving, and that's it. That's not people thinking. That's traffic thinking, and we should try to change that. It's quite important.
Absolutely, I agree with you. Anyone else would like to send a message back to the senator? Okay, so speaking of senators, did you have something to say, Chris? I apologize. I saw you on my screen. Put your hand up.
I will say one piece right now. I was going to say thank you, but I want to wait till my speaking time. Okay,
not a problem. Now speaking of senators, Senator Chu's office, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm getting names there. Maybe I'll get them by the end of the year. Go ahead.
Thank you. Just one quick update, everyone. Senator Yuen Chu was appointed chair of the Libraries Committee, and she also got appointments to the Education Committee, New York City Education, Higher Education, Civil Service and Pensions, and then Small Business, Economic Development, and Commerce. Through these committees, she's really looking forward to doing good work on behalf of Southern Brooklyn residents and New Yorkers. So we're really looking forward to getting legislation done and doing really great work. So I wanted to give that update, and thank you all.
Any questions or any messages to be brought back to the senator? Well, thank you. I believe that the previous senator that sat in that office didn't frequently send a representative. So we thank you for being here. And not that I'm bad-mouthing that individual, I'm just saying that we thank you that she's sending a representative every month. So totally appreciate it. It might be because you have to be here as a board member, but nonetheless, you're here. And I thank you. Our next speaker is from the councilwoman's office, Ina, and then I never could pronounce it, so everyone's going to keep helping me. Troy?
Thanks, Lucy. Vernikoff, Ina Vernikoff.
Vernikoff.
All good. Yeah, so I'll keep it real brief. My name's Troy Olson. I can be reached at 612-759-0147. I hope everyone's having a great month. Some highlights recently. Today, the councilwoman was at an education hearing on emissions oversight. That's not her committee, but sometimes she is going to be appearing on some of these other committees. Any member is allowed to attend a committee hearing. That just can't vote on a committee you don't sit on. Her committees are higher ed, higher education committee, civil and human rights, standards and ethics, and landmarks, public sittings and dispositions. If you're wondering, we've been doing a few meetings and working with the DOE and the precinct on some security issues that has been long-standing security issues that have gotten a little bit worse. Usually it's been sort of more loitering and youth fighting, but it's gotten a little bit worse for a few businesses there and residents on Neptune Avenue. Regarding the MTA Brooklyn bus redesign, we put out some communication. We're trying to push out more communication on how people can do public comments. We've had some criticism of it that has been echoed here already. We're basically in the mode of trying to push everyone to put more public comments, because I'm not hearing that there's a lot of people attending so far. But obviously there's 3 big dates coming up for the district, 13, 14, and 15 in February and March. So I guess geared towards that. So there'll be more of that communication pushed out. If I seem a bit groggy right now, personally, last night I did the Hope Count, which goes till 4 a.m. If people aren't aware of it, that this is an annual census of the street homeless population. It goes from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. I strongly recommend it if you're a night owl or up for it and want to volunteer for a great cause. And then congrats to Daniel on for your new position with the Alliance, and welcome. And for anything budget related, reach out to Mary. For anything legislative related, feel free to reach out to me. And then if you're not signed up for the newsletter, please do, to get updates, and then Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Anything that you guys would like to send back to the councilwoman? Well, I want to thank her personally, and you can relate it to her. I noticed that a lot of our topics, Fanny, I'll call you in a second, sorry. A lot of our topics, she's being very open in waiting for our recommendations, which I personally like that. I like that she's listening to us. She's listening to the community before she signs the dotted line. To me, that's something that I personally think a lot of our elected officials should follow and listen and go that way, because while we are advisory, we do know the community at large. And I noticed that a couple of topics that have coming up, her comments have always been, I'm going to wait to see what the community wants, and then I will jump in there. I mean, in the beginning, I got to be honest, it wasn't like that, but I want to say moving forward, she has, and I really appreciate that. So thank you. Let her know.
Thank you for that, Lucia.
Before I let you go, Fanny has a question. Anya?
Yes. Good evening, everybody, and thank you for letting me speak. I was just listening to the presentation of Councilman Ari Kagan, what he has done for the last month or two. Excuse me. And then Ina Vernikov, and then Alec Krasny. But one thing that is very important, at least for me, for my community, is that there was a New York, Brooklyn rally for action on anti-Semitic crimes. And I believe Ina Vernikov was one of the initiator, and Brooke Krasny was there, I believe, and Ari Kagan was there. There was a meeting, press conference, a meeting on the steps of a courthouse, criminal courthouse, about this case of Solomon Otman, who attacked Blake Zavatsky. And I just wanted to comment that we discuss a lot of very important things for our community. But anti-Semitism is very important because it touches not only Jewish community, but this is the core of people who feel threatened by bigots or people who don't like other other ethnicity or other religion or other race. So I just wanted to make sure that this is in our this is in the discussion during our general meeting.
Can I say one more thing? And thank you for bringing that up. That's a
Go
huge
ahead.
highlight from last week that I forgot to mention. Didn't know how close I was to the 3 minutes, but in the next stated meeting, I just sent it to legislative documents. Councilwoman Vernikoff will be introducing a resolution to make April 29th End Jew Hatred Day. So we're hoping that can advance. I believe Nassau County has done something similar for April 29th. So we're hoping to continue to shine a light on the rise in hate crimes and related to anti-Semitism hate crimes. Also been a rise in Asian hate crimes. So this is a very this and crime and public safety in general has been a very important issue for Councilwoman Vernikoff in the office. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Any other questions? I believe Joanna, do you have your hand raised? Or you just, if you do have your hand risen, can you please unmute yourself? There you
Okay,
go.
okay. As a volunteer at the Assemblyman's office, can I just say a few things about the office and the hours?
Well, Alec doesn't have anyone here to represent?
No, there's nobody else here.
I will allow you, but you know, unless he's saying you're his representative, but I'll allow you to speak this time.
Okay. Just so that you know, the office is at 2002 Mermaid Avenue. I will give you the phone number, 718-266-0267. His office is open Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 to 5. And right now, Alex, when he's back in the city, he's meeting with all the organizations to get an uptake on what it is that they need. And the office is open for any constituents to come in with any problems. That's it. Thank you, Lucy.
No, you're welcome, Joanne, and thank you for holding several hats in the community. We really appreciate it. Just let the office know that if you're going to be speaking on behalf of his office, that we need to know. So,
yes, trust me, it won't happen again.
Okay. No, it's good. We need the information, but we need to know who's speaking.
Thank you for letting me.
Okay, Christopher from the MTA.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. And forgive me if you see me looking like this. I have Bell palsy, so you know I'm still moving around. But let me just get on to the MTA. First, I want to thank Lucy very much. Okay, I just got into. Well, that's Joe. That was the phone, so it's not me. First, I want to thank Lucy and Committee Board 13 because we're starting the ball running to remind people to please put your comments in the redesign. And let me say, there are people attending a little higher than usual. Last day was the one for District 5 that is in the border of the 82 bus. And just let everyone know, people did put their comments in saying we want the 82 bus to still go to Coney Island. So that is still being brought up. The redesign is still going on. I will encourage everyone, doesn't matter, it's not your district, still attend. They're still letting you put your comments in. And just letting you know that DOT is watching this like a hawk, and the accessibility DOT is going to make sure, because we definitely need to hear from everyone at their stops. If it's a senior center, schools, day have programs, it doesn't matter, or even a clinic hospital. We need to know this, because if anyone's using it, we really need to know. So therefore, communication has to come in. And with the state senators and assembly working together, we can make sure that the redesign will look better and maybe get more buses to run into areas. Especially right now, we got to worry about the express bus. So please make sure you do your part there. I did send the information to Eddie. So Eddie, please make sure you share it to Lucy, because there's some additional information. There's going to be some service changes coming up as they're doing some track work along the 8th Avenue line that will affect the F and D train a little bit, but other services will be running. And remind everyone, please make sure you check your Omni information. Anyone needs Omni reduce fare information, please let MTA know if you want a presentation. Everyone, have a great day, and God Hei Fa Choi, and happy Valentine's Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Christopher. As always, Marianne has a question, and I hope you feel better and recover quickly. Marianne.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chris, you mentioned the B82. Now, I
Yes.
live on the route of the B82, and I would say 1 out of every 2 or 3 82s actually make it into Coney Island.
Mhm.
The rest of them stop at 25th Avenue, which is kind of
24th.
ridiculous, right? And I wonder if anybody, I wasn't at the transportation meeting, so I wonder if anybody brought it up to you?
Yes, and I have put in complaints already in about
Okay.
it because the problem is it's not in this end. It is a problem along Kings Highway because we have trucks are double and triple parking and they're getting the 82, even the SVS stuck and the V7 stuck. And this has been brought up to DOT. I have spoken to DOT today and they're supposed to work on something because this is affecting the both directions.
Well, you do what you can.
I'm still going to continue right now. I have spoken to Iman, the accessibility, and he's agreeing with me. And Community War 15 has been aware of this with the 6-1.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
No
And
problem.
feel better.
Thank you.
Lucy, we have Jennifer raising her
Okay.
hand.
Thank you, Eddie. Jennifer, are you talking about this topic or did you sign up because I don't have you on my list? You would have to unmute yourself, dear.
No, I didn't sign up, but as we were speaking about the bus, I want to bring attention to a stop between Stillwell Avenue and 21st Street on Surf Avenue. There is a clinic between Mermaid and Surf between 19th and 17th Street. When the bus is leaving Stillwell Avenue, it does not stop until it gets to 21st Street. We have patients who are going to that clinic that are not dropped off. They get off at 21st Street and then they have to push their cart or the walker or whatever it is to get help to get back to the clinic. And this is what I wanted to bring attention to. I did put it in my comments before. I did send an email before, but it's the same situation. Some drivers does stop and some drivers do not stop because they say there is not a bus stop there because of construction. And that's the
Okay.
issue we have.
So we're gonna connect you with Chris one-on-one. This is important. It's not part of the topic of the cut, but it is very important. So someone in the chat, one of the staff members, please connect them together and he can see what's going on with that stop. Thank you, Jennifer. In the future, and I know you weren't thinking about speaking, but in the future you would have to sign up, but I did it as a courtesy right now. Everyone's telling me that I must be on my net. So we're good. Let's see, my final speaker on my list is Ida Sanoff.
If we've learned anything down here, when we look at projects that did not come through, the ferry, the amphitheater in Seaside Park, what happened was these projects were delivered to us fully formed. Instead of it starting from the bottom up and then reaching out to the community, these projects came in top down. And it was up to the community to show how the agencies ignored their own data and their own findings. Jeff and I were in an almost day-long Army Corps of Engineers flood control seminar today. And it started out talking about heat islands and how concrete exacerbates heat problems and how more people die from a heat exposure than anything else and any other environmental causes, which brings us to the boardwalk. I've had conversations with the Army Corps of Engineers. They say they're either going to bury the boardwalk or repurpose sections and raise it up. Today, they showed a conceptual drawing of a second elevated boardwalk adjacent to our existing boardwalk. And that second elevated, as they put it, promenade would be on top of a flood protection structure. Now, why do I bring this up? The Parks Department has been working behind the scenes and conducting private tours for candidates for office, for elected officials who are currently in office. And this is the tail wagging the dog. And it's not going to turn out well if history down here repeats itself. So what I would like to do is I would like to urge the Community Board's Parks Department to set up a meeting with the Parks Department and possibly the Army Corps of Engineers. So we get a look at some of their conceptual plans. And one of the other things we keep hearing is that the Parks Department has hundreds of millions of dollars now or in the near future to do boardwalk repairs. But if we look at what the Army Corps is saying, they're saying that, well, our work might start a few years after that, and then we might have to bury the existing boardwalk or repurpose it. So the bottom line is the community is being kept out of the loop. And as I said, we've seen with past projects that this did not end well. So I am urging the board to set up a meeting so we can see all of the conceptual plans, so we can see what's planned, so we can have input, so we can point out the contradictions. Like we just heard this morning, the concrete is a killer and creates heat islands, and natural surfaces reduce temperatures, and yet they're talking about concrete here. And they're also showing a comparison to Rockaway, where there is more room for error, because in Rockaway you have a boardwalk, you have a multi-lane roadway, you have a vegetated area, and then you have your buildings. Here our buildings are right on top of the boardwalk. So in order to save the taxpayers money in the future for projects that do not perform as advertised, hello, West 37th Street Groin gave us a beach on the wrong side of the peninsula, another one. I think we need to set up a meeting in the near future. Thank you.
I will take that to our co-chairs, Susan and Barbara, and let them contact, or you can contact one of them and see if they're interested in bringing it up, and we'll be more than happy to have a Parks Committee meeting. Thank you, Ida, as always, for advocating for this community. I noticed that our assemblyman has joined us. Alec, are you with us?
Yes, thank you. I'm driving right now. I'm just I just want to say hello to everybody. I don't want to take up much of a time. I'm going to be listening while I'm driving. It's hard to talk because the weather is not good. But I just wanted to say that office is open, and we're open for all suggestions and all the ideas about how to make our community better. And in terms of constituent services, we have great people in the office. I'm lucky to have wonderful people, members of our community, and active people in the community for a long time. So we are ready to serve. We already have a number of people coming to our office, and I'm very happy about it, because that's the only way for me to know what's going on in the community. And also, you know, besides just listening to the community board meetings, because this is also a wonderful way to know what's going on in the community and what issues we have on the table. I just want to thank you all for listening, and for listening to me, and I'm going to be listening to you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, well, thank you for chiming in, and I thank you again for meeting with Eddie and I and the staff last week and listening to our concerns. I also thank you again, and I'm going to keep repeating this until February 21st. I thank you very much again for reaching out to the MTA on behalf of the community when they were giving us a little bit of a problem to come to a meeting, and you and the senator jumped right in there and said, no, this is not happening. We're getting you in there. So I thank you both again. And again, I'll keep repeating it to them. And then I just want to say, you know, we met with Al. I mean, I'm throwing things from my report, but we met with Alec, and him and I came to an agreement that I love him 20% now. So he's moving up. We're moving up and bonding.
Madam Chair, I hope, but I'm almost at with this 20%. I'm almost at 100. But
yeah.
I know. I'm giving myself credit in advance.
You'll get there. You'll get there. But I thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think the public session is closed unless I missed anyone, Hannah?
Madam Chair, I'm sorry, I forgot to sign in. Any chance you can give me a few minutes?
Go for
Exception.
it, Sergey. 3 minutes.
Thank you. You're in a good mood today. I like it. So, greetings from New York City Comptroller's Office. Everybody, Happy New Year. I know it's been a few weeks after, but we're right now in the middle of Chinese Lunar New Year. So Happy New Year. And I encourage you to look at Comptroller's Twitter account, and you definitely would see some interesting video how he himself, our office, celebrated and continue to celebrate. We participated in parade in Flushing, in Manhattan, and we'll come to the Lunar New Year parade, Year of Rabbit, into Brooklyn as well. On the serious note, on January 9, our office put up a report, Turn Up the Heat, and it was not accidental date. It was 1 year after the terrible fire in the Bronx, where 17 people unfortunately lost their lives. And this report shows how building owners, they comply with codes which are required in New York City, how buildings, homes have to be heated to certain degrees in colder temperatures, and what areas have more compliance, what areas showing less compliance. They have like a lot of interactive maps, a lot of interesting and useful information in that report. If you need a link, please let me know. Somehow I cannot send it right now. Technical glitch on my computer. And we'll be continue to work with NYCHA residents. We helped to assemble like an advisory committee for NYCHA residents, and they had already initial meeting, and we will continue to help them to work on their issues throughout the city. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, any questions or any concerns that you would like him to bring back to the controller besides, of course, we always say up the community board's budget, but we'll go from there on a different note. Anyone else?
Thank
Okay,
you.
then thank you for speaking. That was my last speaker for the public session. Public section is closed. We'll move on. Our elected officials spoke as well. So adoption of the minutes for the December 20th. May I get a motion? Joanne Weiss and Marion Cleaver. Roll call, Lucia.
Zunaira Ahmed,
Yes.
Lakeisha Bowers,
Oh, I'm sorry. Before I go there, there was a motion, but were there any discussion on the motion? I forget every month something, but is any discussion on the motions? Okay, so we can continue, and you would like to start again, please?
sure. Zunaira Ahmed,
Yes.
Lakeisha Bowers,
Yes, I'm sorry, my camera dark, but I'm here.
I see you. Dion Brown,
Yes.
Patricia Brown.
Yes.
I don't see a camera.
No.
Okay. Patricia, Mario Caggiano, sorry.
Yes.
I don't see a camera on.
Oh, shucks. Hold on. Where is this?
In favor, opposed? Mario,
In favor.
Marion Cleaver,
Yes.
Joe Carres,
Yes.
Assad Dandia,
Yes.
Lolita Divilova,
Yes.
Susan Flashenberg,
Yes.
Olga Fort, Yes.
Selena Grant.
My apologies, I had to step away. Is this approval for the minutes?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
No problem. Ronald Greenberg.
Yes.
Irum Hanif. Amaryllis Herrera.
Yes, Aram Hanif is here. Sorry, I had some
I
issue.
knew I saw you. Amaryllis Herrera. Queenie Hewling. I don't
Yes.
see. But there's no camera on. Okay. Isaac Doyen. Bernard Kaufman. Cynthia LaVille.
Yes.
Elena Machnin.
Yes.
Alan Newman.
Yes.
Pat O'Brien. Robin Wright Person.
Yes.
Nodra P.
Yes.
Milagros Quilis.
Yes.
Michael
Yes.
Quinn. Perfect.
Michael Quinn,
Michael-
yes. Yes, Michael Quinn.
Perfect. Semmer Rankowski.
Yes.
Michael Russo. Jeff Sanoff.
Yes.
French Schwartz.
Yes.
Tatiana Siegel.
Yes.
Pervez Siddiqui. Michael Silverman.
Yes, Michael.
Pat Singer.
Yes.
Evelyn Strasser.
Yes.
Jack Subin.
Yes.
Barbara Teitelbaum.
Yes.
Vanya Vasilevsky. Gregory Vaingroot.
Yes.
Edita Volodovskaya. Dennis Roderis.
Yes.
Gloria Watkins.
Yes. Yes.
Joanne Weiss.
Yes.
Annette Wesley.
Yes.
David Wynn.
Yes.
Kumali Zairi.
Yes.
Svetlana Zelenskaya. Great.
I don't know if you heard me. This is Edita. I'm here, and it's yes.
I didn't hear you. Thank you so much. Is there anybody else that I missed?
Lucy Mojica Diaz, yes.
Looking at you. Sorry.
And Fanya Vasilevsky.
Shouldn't answer.
Yes, yes. I answered, I was on mute.
Thank you,
Okay.
Fanya.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let
Thank
me
you,
check.
Lucia, for taking that. When you get a minute, please let us know the roll call.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to
I'm
remind people.
sorry, I answer yes. I can't, my phone is not good. Svetlana
sorry, who is
Zelenskaya
that?
said yes. I just got audio.
Who?
Hello.
That's
We hear you,
Svetlana.
but I don't know who you
so
are.
will be- so
We
you'll
have
be
you, Svetlana.
Oh, well,
yes,
let's,
yeah,
but
so
let's
yes.
not cross here. If she doesn't have a camera, she can't vote. We all know. I'm gonna repeat it again. So
Okay.
please do not. Okay, there
yes.
she goes. There's her beautiful face.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you. Sorry.
so I'm gonna remind again, and I'm going all over the place. You know, it takes 30 seconds to put your camera on. Say yes,
No,
say no, whatever
my
you have.
phone is not good.
No, we
good.
have you, dear. We have you. I'm just reminding
Ah,
people.
okay.
Takes
Sorry.
30 seconds, flick it on, flick it off. That's all we
I'm
need.
sorry.
Again, if you need an iPad, you need a laptop, contact the office. We do have
Okay.
with cameras. Please do not hesitate to let us know. And you will be, of course, yes, Lucia, they are marked present, but they're not allowed to vote. So that's your text message to me. Okay, so moving on. She'll give us a count in a second. Chairperson's report, like I said, I'm all over the place. So Eddie and I met with the new assemblyman, went well. We met with Dan from the Alliance, that went well. And then we're gonna start setting up meetings with the senators soon. Board members renewals, if you haven't submitted it in, deadline's February 14th. I think you guys heard me earlier. I went to an event earlier this evening for District 21 that was sponsored by Lakeisha Bowers. With Barbara's suggestion, I brought applications to have the youth please apply for board membership. So we need you, not that I don't love all of us, but we need to mentor our youth and teach them things that are going on in the community so they could get involved. My deepest condolences to the gentleman from the young man from Liberation that has left us at such a young age. So if anyone knows April, please reach out to her and give her your condolences, as well as I'm sure she'll relate it to the family. I'm not sure if the wake already happened. If someone wants to chime in and let me know or speak up and let us know if it did, I apologize. If it has not, please announce it.
No.
Okay.
Like Lucy, I'm sorry. Yes.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry,
Lakeisha.
Lucy, just jumping in. No, it has not happened yet. Soon as they put it together, I'll definitely let Community Board 13 know.
Okay, thank you, because I thought I saw it somewhere, but I thank you for that. There was another
So-
shooting. I'm
sorry. I have a tally. So 42 present, 39 yeses, 3 no's, 3 no votes. Because there's no cameras.
Thank you very much. So we have a quorum. With that being said, this afternoon, I believe it was around 11-ish or 12-ish that I got the text message. Unfortunately, there was another shooting at the auto shop on 20th Street. It's a shame, regardless the situation, anyone to lose it. I mean, no one was passed away in that situation, but anyone being shot out to me is a tragedy. So I'm glad that no one was killed within that incident. You probably all heard, I don't know if the office had the opportunity to send it out. We're extended again to go remote to the end of February. So our full board meeting in February will be on Zoom once again, and we'll just keep extending it. Eddie reached out to DOT regarding the lights on the boardwalk, and they just emailed us, I think today or yesterday, stating that they are fixed. So anyone that walks on the boardwalk, please always let us know if you see anything, especially now that there's not much action up there. If you see lights off or you see something funny, if we can help you, and if we can't, we'll relate it to the proper people. Just watch your surroundings, because I was up there and it's a little scary in the winter time, for me anyway. So when I saw all the lights, a whole stream of lights out, I contacted the office, and they spoke to DOT and they took care of it this week. So I want to remind people again, the borough president, we met with him last month at a borough service cabinet meeting. He's reviewing attendance records. We submitted what we needed to submit, everyone's attendance records. I still am looking over the committee attendance, and that comes under our play. And if you look at the bylaws, and if you don't have the bylaws, please go to the website, or the office will be more than happy to send them to you. If you miss 25% of more meetings on one committee, I will be giving you a courtesy call to either remove yourself off that committee or get your attendance going. This community board doesn't have that many meetings, and for the last 3 years, they've been on Zoom. And while I understand everyone has a busy life, and I understand things come up, to miss an extreme amount of meetings when we don't have that much is unacceptable. So that's my take on the attendance. I think that's my report. Before I move it on to Eddie, the district manager. Gloria, you have a question? You're muted, dear.
Could you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if this is the appropriate time to say this, but I would like to bring up the former Assemblywoman Pam Harris' nephew, Detective Nicholas Nelson, that was stabbed in the neck in Staten Island on January the 11th. Both parents came from Coney Island, and also Nicholas. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. I can't say that we should have a moment of silence, but Nicholas was killed January the 11th, and he was an NYPD detective and from Coney Island.
Well, thank you, Gloria, for bringing that to our attention. I did see it on social media. I apologize. You know, sometimes we miss certain people, not intentionally. It's because, you know, we don't know everyone personally. And if that information gets given to the office, we of course announce it to the best of our ability. So thank you very much for that. Our condolences out to the, I on behalf of the community, go ahead, Gloria.
I knew him personally, so that's why I felt that I needed to say something.
Well, we thank you. And our condolences on behalf of the community board, and our condolences to the family, and thank you. I think that's done with my report. Fania, you have a question for me with the report?
Maybe it's not the time, but I'm just hearing when we're sitting here for maybe 30 minutes, and we're talking about two people, young people killed already in a matter of 10. So my question is, as we were talking about this crime, rising of crime and losing our best members of our community, what can we do as a community board to maybe petition for changes of law, maybe some kind of change, so we can talk to councils, maybe together. We need some kind of action, because it's breaking when the young people die and we just have moment of silence.
Well, I thank you for that. We are not in a position as a community board to really speak about law issues, except once in a while we'll bring up safety issues in our public and safety committee. But if you have concerns about that, we will connect you with the president of the 6 Precinct Community Council, which is Joanne Weiss. And either you can attend their meetings or you could talk to her one-on-one, and maybe she could have you speak at a meeting, but we will connect you with her and you can bring those topics up. Okay, yes, Joanne, did you want to jump in on that?
I just have to say something. We have a meeting the third Tuesday of every month. And every month I sit and I ask for questions on problems. And every month I get double parked cars, trucks legally parked. Nowhere and never does anybody say, we have a problem with guns or we have a problem with knives. And I ask the same question every month, and every month I get the same response, none. So if you have an issue, please come to our meetings. It's the third Tuesday of the month. This month it will be at St. Paul's Church, because I have to do it in person on February, I believe it's the 21st. And come and make your appeals and state your problems and get it out in the open. Because if you talk to each other and don't talk to us, we can't do anything. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joanne. That's why I said for her to reach out to you, but I thank you very much. Something hit me in my head when you guys spoke about that, but I guess I'll interrupt it if I remember.
Lucy, I'm sorry, that's Sergey. I don't know if you're not aware, on February 3rd, there will be a meeting at Coney Island Hospital on the topic.
No, I
Is that-
don't know. Do we know of that, Eddie?
Oh,
it, yeah.
I'm go.
Yes.
Okay, stop,
we just-
stop, please, stop. No crossing, please. Eddie, are we aware of that?
Yes, we got a flyer the other day.
Okay, if
Okay,
you
just
have
wanted-
30 seconds to go on your computer, place it into the chat. If you do not, please circulate it to the board members tomorrow, and they would know
Was that gun control meeting?
they would know to attend.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
either or, but we thank you very much. Again, I had something, I didn't write it down, but I'll bring it up, and it was based on that topic. Let me see if I can remember. I was talking about the precinct, go to the meeting. Well, I'll figure it out, but let me move on. District
Lucy.
Manager's report.
Okay, real quick. Yes, Happy New Year, guys. We had the polar bear plunge this past January 1st. It was a record because of the weather and people who wanted to jump into the water. They raised over $100,000 this year. Usually they raise over 80,000, but this year because of the weather and I guess because of COVID, people wanted to be there. It was a very well attended, and I would thank people who jumped in the water with me. We survived. Also, Gong Hei Fa Choi, as you know, it's the year of the rabbit. This past Sunday was Chinese New Year's, and for everyone who celebrates or knows someone who celebrates, Happy Chinese New Year. We also met last month with the Office of Cannabis Management, discussing about the smoke shops. We've sent the list in to them. We are working with them closely right now. They have asked us some questions to verify some spots, and we are responding to them right now. Hopefully we can get some of these places closed, because as you know, they're all illegal right now if they're selling any cannabis information to the people, and especially if they're near a school or any community facility that's doing rehabilitation. As mentioned before, we have had a meeting with the MTA discussing about the bus. Is very important for the people to send in their comments. I'm putting into the link right now into the chat for people to register directly to them to talk about their problems on the spot. As they say, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. If you do not complain, they will take away that site. So people have to make their voices heard during this time. Respond to them, and that'll be great. Also, happy birthday for people who are birthdays in January. I know some board members like Pat Singer, Kamali, who have the birthday that passed, and Beth Ritter that's coming up tomorrow. So happy birthday, and that's my report.
I thank you, Eddie. You just hit the nail on the head. I was gonna say that I saw in the news that they are legalizing 60 smoke shops within the 5 boroughs. So get prepared that we will have some in Brooklyn. I don't know where in Brooklyn, but the news, and maybe we could get that list from them and find out which are legal and which are not, and maybe if they're gonna be within our district. I do have a question for you as a polar bear participant. You did mention they raised $100,000.
Yes, they did, and
Okay.
they're going to be distributing them to the people in Coney Island, the local community groups. Which one I don't know, but I know
Right.
that
So my
they're going to
question to
be-
you is that, yeah, I noticed that they have donated to the community, and that's a great thing. But my question to you, and I don't know if you know the answer because I don't know what title you hold there. How does someone in this community apply for them to receive a donation, or do they pick it among themselves?
I think they.
I noticed, well, let me finish, Eddie, for a second. And maybe you can bring it back to them. I noticed for the 30+ years that I've been around that it seems the same people always receive a grant from that money.
Okay.
So maybe we want to give an icing on the cake to other people.
I think.
I just want to know how people can apply.
So,
if
well,
they
I
can.
don't think they really apply. It's just more of if they work closely with the Coney Island Polar Bears, then they will give a donation to the cause. And that's how they usually work. They can't go to every body's community events, but if they want to reach out to the polar bears, make themselves known, and help them, support them. I think that's where they get to know, to make a relationship with them, because you don't just ask for money and then they're gonna say, well, where you're from.
We do. We actually do. People do ask for no donations from people.
Yeah.
We do. But I'm just saying that
for
I
them,
noticed.
but for them, yeah, they should make some connections with them before asking, because they're there to help the community. And for something like that, I think is, if you're a worthy cause, they will definitely help out.
I mean, maybe you could buzz that into their ear from us. And the reason I bring this up is because I was, like I said, I was at an event earlier, and a woman said to me, I'm trying to have an event for the children, and I'm trying to get donations for trophies. Who do I reach out to? And I didn't have the answer for her. So it just hit me right now that I noticed that they donate to the same organizations, and it would be nice to slice a piece of the cake to someone else.
Sure.
So thank you.
I'll reach out to them. That's no problem.
I appreciate that. Okay, the district manager report. Any questions for Eddie?
You want to up your hand?
Nope.
Joe, go ahead.
No, what's up?
I have a question for Lucy. Lucy, contact me. Maybe Kiwanis can help.
Kiwanis is always helping everyone, and I really appreciate that. And speaking of Kiwanis, they're having a
Pancake breakfast.
yeah, let me see how I want to say, because I don't want somebody to say that I'm asking for money, but they are having a pancake breakfast and the flyer has been in our newsletter. As far as the amount, you'll speak out to the person on the flyer. I personally think they're a great organization. They give to this community and every community, and Joe has always been very thoughtful in giving out to each and every any person that reaches out, and I thank you for that, Joe.
Give us a call. Maybe we can help with the trophies. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I will. I'll get the information to you and connect you both. Okay. There is no communication and correspondence. I think Eddie and I filled that gap. Unfortunately, the treasurer's report will be postponed into next month. We have some technical problems in getting the information from the Office of Management and Budget. So we couldn't get, if those that work for the city know, it's like pulling teeth to try to get things from them. So we're going to postpone it to next month and go from there. I did mention earlier, and I'm turning the page. If you look at your agenda, committee reports, there's going to be a link there. The link is it provides all the meetings that we have for the month. So the YouTube's link is there for the meetings, and we're going to make sure that we provide that every month on the agenda, so you could always go back and look into that. Okay, so moving on with the agenda, licensing committee. Excuse me. Okay, licensing committee. Yelena was not present. I ran the meeting. She had an emergency situation at the last minute. So there was there's a new application for full liquor license. I don't know why it's written, it says full wine, beer, and cider, which is a little confusing because it's a full liquor license. You don't need to add wine, beer, lighters. Where you don't need to add wine, beer, and cider. It's for an establishment called Juice and More, and they're located at 1915 Mermaid Avenue. The committee unanimously approved it in favor of 600. I don't have the paperwork in front of me, and I totally apologize. Hannah, do you happen to recall the hours of operation, etc., that you might want to speak on?
I could check it just give me 30 seconds.
Okay, I should have had that ready, and I apologize. And then we will take is there any questions with the location in the meantime? Eddie, what are we sharing there?
Okay, I'm sharing what they mentioned about the gun violence on February the 3rd.
Thank you.
It's in there, so everyone can take note of it. Thank you very much. You have someone raised hand, Lucy?
So Selena, go ahead, and so, Hannah, and I really apologize that I put you on the spot. I should have had that. Go ahead.
Thank you, Lucy. Can you tell me the side street? I'm sorry, I wasn't at the meeting, so
It
it's on Mermaid
is-
and where?
It is 1915 Mermaid, which, excuse me? 1915 Mermaid, which I believe that's between 19th and 20th Street on Mermaid, across the street from the Human Resources Building, the new one.
Okay, I'm looking at the minutes and it says from 12 noon to 2 a.m. for operations. I'm sorry,
Thank you.
just throwing
I'm
it
so
out
sorry.
there. And
So
the-
go
and
ahead,
the
I
doors-
appreciate that. What are the hours of operation?
From 12 noon to 2 a.m. and the doors will close at 10 p.m. so that you won't have any outside noise going out because it's going to be
Okay,
music.
and-
Right, Madam Chair, I have 12 p.m.
Wait,
to-
wait, one at a time. And I believe is Monday to 7 days,
Who are you talking to, me?
either or, 7
Yeah.
days.
I have 12 p.m. to 2 a.m. all days, all 7 days from their
Okay.
stipulations.
Okay, so any questions on a new application being placed there? There are not three more establishments in the area. That will be the only, one right there. Then, they fall within the guidelines of the school, the 200 foot rule. And that's all I can remember, and I apologize, I should have had my notes better. So if there's no questions and it came out of committee, may I have a roll call then?
What is the committee's recommendation?
The committee recommended 6 in favor, sir. Joe.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, Zanera Ahmed.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, we need a motion. I'm sorry, Madam Chair, I jumped, sorry.
You don't need a motion.
No, you don't need a motion. It came out of committee.
Oh, okay.
Motion was made at committee.
So, okay, thank you. Zanera Ahmed,
Yes.
Lakeisha Bowers,
Yes, yes.
Dion Brown,
Yes.
thank you, Dion. Patricia
welcome.
Brown,
I'll vote.
oh, okay. Maria Caggiano,
Oh, man, what is that?
I'm sorry, Mario?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Marion Cleaver,
Yes.
Joe Carase,
Yes.
Assad Dandia,
Yes.
Lolita Divilova,
Yes.
Susan Flashenberg,
Yes.
Olga Fort,
Yes.
Selena Grant,
Yes.
thank you. Ronald Greenberg,
Yes.
Hannah, I'm
Everyone
texting.
needs-
You need to look at the screen and make sure people have their face.
Yeah, I see them when they speak, it pops into my,
I didn't see Mario, that's why.
yeah, he popped up there, yeah. Thank you. Aram Hanif. Abram? We'll come back to Abram.
Yes.
Oh, there you are. Hello, thank you.
Thank you.
Queenie Hewling?
Yes.
Okay, no camera. Cynthia Lavelle?
Yes.
Thank you. Yelena Mackin?
Yes.
Alan Newman?
Yes.
Robin Wright Parasone?
Yes.
Nodra Hamidova?
Yes.
Milagros Quiles?
Abstain.
Say that one more time?
I abstain.
You have to turn your camera on. I'm so sorry.
Okay, got
There
it.
you are. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Michael Quinn?
Yes, Michael Quinn.
Sam Rinkowski?
Yes.
Thank you. Jeff Sanoff,
Yes.
Fran Schwartz. Okay. Tatiana
Not
Siegel.
allowed to vote.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
not
Thank
allowed
you.
to vote.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Fran. Tatiana Siegel,
Yes, Tatiana Siegel.
Michael Silverman.
Yes, Michael.
Thank you. Pat Singer,
Yes.
Evelyn Strasser,
Yes.
Jack Subin,
Yes.
Robert Titlebaum,
Yes.
Fania Vasilevsky, Fania. I'll come back. Gregory Vangert.
Excuse me,
Yes.
Fania Levsky, yes.
Okay, thank you, Fania. Gregory,
Yes.
thank you. Dita,
Yes.
thank you. Dennis,
Yes.
thank you. Gloria Watkins, Gloria, you there?
Yes,
Oh, okay, thank you.
yes,
Thank you. Joanne Weiss,
Yes.
thank you. Annette Wesley,
Yes.
David Wynn,
Yes. Yes.
thank you. Kumali Zairi,
Yes.
Svetlana Zelinskaya, Svetlana, you there? Okay, Lucy Mujica Diaz,
Yes.
thank you.
Hannah, I'm here also. Amaryllis Herrera, and I vote yes.
Hi, Amaryllis, thank you,
I
Amaryllis.
came a little
Okay.
late, but I'm here.
Okay, thank you. And also, is there anyone else that didn't call? No, I got it, Madam Chair. I'll count it.
Yes,
Thank you.
please raise your hand and let us know. Let's move on. There was a second item that was voted, and it was regarding the form for the stipulations that we give out to the applicants. After we voted, I realized that the form was never brought to the full board. So there should have not been a vote because it was internal within the committee. So I'm going to withdraw that recommendation and not bring it to the full board. Thank you. Now let's move on with transportation. Lolita.
Good evening, everyone. On Wednesday, January 18, we have a transportation committee meeting. The quorum was present. Elected officials and their representatives were present at the meeting, including Senator Jessica Scarcella-Spanton, Councilman Brennan, representatives of Councilman Cogan and Councilman Vernikov's office, and multiple community residents. MTA representative went over a presentation on how to submit comments to the Brooklyn Bus redesign team and registered to participate in public workshop in February. He was present for some time to hear to the comments. The meeting went orderly despite the large number of people attended. People had a chance to voice their concern. Many spoke of inconveniences and hardship the proposed changes will bring about. Among potential issues discussed were effect on bus stop elimination on elderlies, including using walkers and wheelchairs, and parents with young children in carriages, especially in our windy conditions, access to school for school-age children and for college students from various districts, increasing difficulty reaching our local hospital, issues of access to transportation for people with psychological issues experiencing anxiety in closed spaces such as trains and tunnels, and increased crime in subway system attracting people to buses as a safer option. Elimination of express buses and reducing services off rush hours affecting people who rely on express buses to get to their doctors and long-term treatments. In days preceding Transportation Committee meeting, Community Board 13 made multiple posts in social media, and community activists such as Angela Kravchenko and Ann Valdez were educating community residents on proposed changes and posted flyers in multiple languages. Community board members encouraged everyone present to reach out to as many people as possible, and also to organizations, businesses, school PTAs, to raise community awareness and facilitate community feedback directly to MTA. Community Board 13 and Senator Jessica Scarcella-Spanton's offices offered additional resources to streamline community communication with MTA. The plan is still in draft. status, and it is important for the community to express their opinion directly to the redesign team to contribute in a positive way to the process. That's the end of the report.
Very good.
Well, that's a very detailed report. I think I'm gonna have you write all my reports. As I'm a bullet point person. Any questions for Lolita? No questions. Okay, as I said, we will keep bad. Selena.
Sorry. Thank
No,
you.
dear, this is why we're here. Don't be sorry.
So I didn't get a chance. Did you say what the committee decided to do? I understand all the oppositions, which is great. I agree with it. I'm sorry I missed the meeting. So we're going to vote on something now, and if so, I want to know what was the no? Great. Thank you. Thank you.
So no, there is no voting. We're just gonna keep emphasizing and telling people to submit their comments to the MTA before February 21st, before the hearing. We'll send out notices again for people to attend the hearing and encourage you to, you know, as I said in the meeting, you know, you have one extra person, that's one extra recommendation or comment to the MTA. And, you know, I've seen here, things can be done. Things can be done. People just have to get together and do them. So I thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Anyone else? Tanya, are you just unmuted or do you have something to say?
I'm sorry,
It's okay, dear. We all make those mistakes. Okay, so moving on, Land Use Committee, Marianne or Shimon?
Simone, I'll take it, okay? The Land Use Committee has been discussing the property of Nixon Court, which is right off of Ocean Parkway, which is across the street from the hospital. All right, the attorney for the property is going to go to city planning and give a brand new presentation with the R7A zoning, which means it will be the height and width and have the parking and everything that we asked for to have in that property. All right. We did have a motion to approve the recommendation that Council Member Kagan work with the Land Committee of the Council to approve the zoning class of R7A for the Nixon Court project. All right, the vote was 3 in favor, 5 opposed, no recusals, and 1 abstention. The motion was denied. I imagine it's going to come back to us in a month or two and we can discuss it then. And that's my report.
Okay.
There's no vote on this.
And the reasoning for no vote, I'm sorry, I was texting.
Okay, the reason for no vote on it is we voted it down, number 1, the committee. And number 2, he is bringing it back to city planning for a new recertification.
Okay, so I'm sorry, who was going to speak?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead, Michael. Yes, thank you.
Mr. Palatnik actually withdrew to the board the what we voted on. So since he withdrew it, there is no reason to come to the board, number 1. But number 2 is important to keep in mind, and we brought this up at the last meeting, due to the New York City Charter, especially with land use issues, a committee of 6 people cannot speak for the whole board. So under normal circumstances, especially since our bylaws are silent on this issue. So in effect, even if it is denied in committee, it would still normally come to the full board. But here in this case, he withdrew what he wanted us to vote on and get and approve. So that's why we're not bringing it further to the board.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the clarification, Michael.
Thank you both. That's where I was going. So I wanted to make sure people understood why this happened. Now I'm gonna go back to the roll call on the license of for Juice and More. It was 38 in favor, 1 abstained. Okay, so I'm gonna switch the agenda around a little bit like I try to do so we can do the last roll call on the last item. So any old business? Any old business? Okay. Any good and welfare?
Yes.
Queenie has something.
Yes.
Go ahead, Queenie.
All right. On Friday, February the 3rd, in honor of Black History Month, South Brooklyn Health, formerly known as Coney Island Hospital, presents a community conversation on gun violence. The event is being held at 2601 Ocean Parkway from 2 to 4 p.m. in Kane Auditorium on the 2nd floor of the hospital. The panel consists of, please correct me if I pronounce the name incorrectly, Jeffy Madre, he's the chief of New York City Police Department, Dr. Doris Felton, Chief Medical Officer, New York City Health and Hospital Corporation, South Brooklyn Health, A.T. Mitchell, New York City Gun Violence Prevention Caesar, and co-chair of New York City Mayor's Gun Violence Prevention Task Force, Richard E. Green, founder and CEO of Crown Heights Youth Collective Incorporation, and Derek Lateef Scott, Program Director, Operation Hood. That's the end of my report. Hello?
I'm looking, I have myself
Yes.
muted and then I have some things on the screen. Thank you very much. Any questions for Queenie on this good and welfare?
Can she just repeat the date?
It's a Friday, February the 3rd.
At what time?
It's 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. in Kane's Auditorium. That's the 2nd floor of the hospital.
Okay, thanks.
All right, you're welcome.
If you have that information, again, the office will circulate it. If you send it to us, we really appreciate that.
It's in the
Okay,
chat.
no problem.
Right, but I text you to still send it through emails. People are not gonna grab the chat, so I really totally appreciate if that can be done again. I know it was an extra step, but when you get it in an email, you pick it up faster than looking at a chat. So thank you. Lolita, and then Dennis and Lakeisha.
Hello, I just want to bring something as a new business, maybe it's old business. Is there any way, and I'm not sure which committee will be involved, to bring up the issue of lack of lighting along Surf Avenue? I heard today that Mermaid Avenue will be receiving more lights. I'm thinking that, you know, the Surf Avenue has very little lighting. Sometimes I walk from work on 27th and Surf, and it's totally like dark, pitch dark. And, you know, I was wondering if it's a safety committee or maybe combined transportation and safety committee meeting, whichever you prefer, like what is appropriate. I would appreciate if this will be brought up.
We could do it either way. We can have a committee, write a letter and let them know what our concerns are. Or you can speak to Eddie, the district manager, and let him direct it to DOT. So reach out to Eddie, you figure out which way you want to do it. If you want to do it as a meeting and write a letter, or do you want him to just submit it directly to DOT? Okay.
You can give me a call tomorrow. We'll talk.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Lucy.
You're welcome. Dennis?
Hi, under good and welfare. Hi, everybody. I just wanted to announce that I'm a proud grandfather once again. My wife and I, my son Dinos and his wife Cindy, who many of you know, had a baby boy on January 4th, and his name is Matthew. And
wow,
I'm sure he'll be making pizza very soon.
Mazel tov.
Mazel
Thank
tov.
you.
Mazel tov.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Congratulations,
Many
Dennis.
blessings. It's always good to hear good news like that.
Congratulations.
Lakeisha.
Hello, I just want to say thank you to Chair for attending, and as well Dion Brown for attending the very first District 21 Leadership Appreciation Dinner that took place tonight. All the District 21 principals along with the superintendents receive a citation. And I just want to say thank you for attending and speaking at this event.
Well, thank you for having it. It was a beautiful event. And the food was good. No comment. But thank you. You're welcome. I think I'm speaking for Dion as well. Okay, so
Wait, I have
believe
I
the
have
last-
one more thing. I have one more thing.
You have,
Someone
go
put-
ahead, Eddie.
They put
Go
this
ahead.
in the chat. Was Councilman Kagan is gonna have free ice skating from February 21st to February 24th. They put it in the chat, so you guys can't see it, but I can. And I'm gonna post it now, so let everyone know it's free from 10 to 12 from those dates. Okay.
Well, that's very nice of him. I heard there was a great turnout
Is it?
last
Is it?
time. So we'll
Where
place
is it?
At Abe Stark Skating Rink.
Where?
Abe Stark Skating Rink.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And that's very nice to him. And I heard there was a great turnout. We'll put it in our newsletter and send that out. Correct, Eddie? Okay,
Yes,
and Ms. Williams, I cannot allow you to speak. We're in business session now. I gave the opportunity for the elected officials to talk, so we're gonna move forward.
You can
I
put it in
didn't mean
chat.
to raise my hand.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, we'll
Okay,
take it
dear.
down.
So as I said, I want to make sure that I have everything because I like to switch it up so we could do the last roll call. Evelyn Strauss, I told Eddie to text me your number. I thought I had it. My apologies. It is 8:36. So bear with me.
Thank you, Lucy.
So in new business, who will be presenting that item? And when you vote on that item, that is always going to be, that's also going to be our exit for the good night evening. So if anyone wants to say the little good nights and do all of that now, let's do it before we go to new business, and then we will adjourn. Who is presenting?
I'm going to be speaking on it, Lucy.
Thank you, Susan. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. As indicated in the agenda, we are going to be having a vote on renaming the Coney Island Creek walkway promenade at Kaiser Park in memory of Jean Ritter. At the end of December, Eddie Mark shared a letter written to the board by Beth Ritter, who is the widow of Jean Ritter. Jean was a longtime advocate for Coney Island Creek, participated in the frequent cleaning of the creek with students and children, and participated in many educational events for the Coney Island community related to the Coney Island Creek, including It's My Estuary Day, which is always an annual great event. After Jean passed away, Beth was told by the Parks Department that they would like to name the walkway at the Coney Island Creek Beach for Jean Ritter. But in order to do so, she was told that the Parks Department needed a letter of support from Community Board 13. According to the information I have, Charles Dennison and the New York State Marine Education Association support the renaming of the walkway for Jean Ritter. And a letter of support was submitted by Councilmember Ari Kagan, who supported renaming the walk. So I would like to give my own support to naming the walkway for Jean Ritter. It's a great tribute to a man who definitely left us too soon. So I don't know if there wants to be any discussion on naming this walkway by the Coney Island Creek for Jean Ritter, but I would like to put forth a motion to approve a letter of support to name the walkway for Gene Ritter at Coney Island Creek and Kaiser Park.
I second it.
it.
I second
Okay,
it.
Evelyn has seconded. Evelyn has seconded. Is
The
there any?
Gloria.
Well, you can't. We don't have a third Gloria, but I love
I know,
you.
I know, but I like Jane.
Um,
All did.
We all did.
Evelyn seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? I believe Selena had her hand up, but she was trying to get her name into saying she seconded.
I just wanted to ask real quick, when you talk about the walkway, it's inside Kaiser Park we're looking at?
It's right by the water, the beach, where they do the cleanups. It runs along the beach. It runs along the part of Kaiser Park that borders on the water, on the creek. It's where the old where they were going to dock the ferry, and then it continues past on the walkway past the where you go down into the beach at Kaiser Park, where they do the cleanup.
At Kaiser Park.
At Kaiser Park, we're talking about Kaiser Park, the beach at Coney Island Creek.
Thank you so much.
I believe the office circulated it
Yes.
either yesterday or today. If you didn't have an opportunity to view, read it, of course, Susan is very detailed on her reports. I'm if she missed anything or any questions, please bring them up now before we take a vote.
Lucy, if you want to, Beth Ritter's here. You want her to speak?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, well,
All right.
welcome, Beth. Would you like to say a few words, dear?
Well, I'm not really prepared to speak per se. Go ahead, Batsoi.
Thank you.
And thank you for the birthday wishes. But what you said was pretty much wrapped it up, Susan. I had written, a little biography of him. I think many of you here are familiar or remember. And he died unbelievably over 4 years ago. And I think that it's
time.
That if this is going to happen, it would be so wonderful. And
Yep.
it would be great. It would be really a wonderful thing. And thank you so much.
Let's vote.
Yes.
Thank you, whoever said that. But I do have a question, Eddie, and I don't know if Susan knows this. Has this been done in the past for anyone?
Not in Coney Island, but they've done it through the Parks Department, and it usually takes them 3 years to do this. Because we asked them back then in 2018 to push it up, and they said no, it takes at least 3 years before they can even look at it. And of course, we had COVID, so this is the first available time that we have it now, and it's been long awaited.
So you're saying that it's going to probably take 3 years?
Oh, no. They had to wait 3 years before even looking at an application. So,
okay.
Yeah, it takes them 3 years. It's longer than the street naming. Trust me, we looked at it too.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so the motion's to approve. Lucia's gonna do the roll call, and then we're gonna
Backwards. Yes,
Okay,
I
okay.
know.
Okay, I forgot too. Backwards, and we're trying to be fair to everyone. Maybe someday we'll see you all in person. But we're just gonna keep having Zoom until the order is completely 100% lifted. So backwards, and Beth, thank you. For me, it is a privilege for me to vote yes for this.
Thank you so much, Lucy.
All right.
Go ahead.
Svetlana Zelenska.
Well, no, that's wrong. Backwards would be me because I'm the last roll call, so I'm voting yes.
Oh. Fine, but next, Svetlana Zelenska? Guess not. Kumali Zairi?
Yes, and good night, everyone.
David Nguyen?
Yes, good night.
Annette Wesley? Yes, good night. Joanne Weiss?
My pleasure to vote absolutely yes. And good night, everybody.
Gloria Watkins?
Absolutely yes. And good night.
Dennis Roderis?
100% yes. Hi, Beth. Good night, everybody.
Mazel tov, Dennis.
Edita Volodovskaya,
Yes, and good night.
Gregory Weingrod,
Yes, and good night.
Fanya Vasilevsky,
Good night.
I didn't hear a vote from you.
Good night. Yes.
Okay. Barbara Titlebaum, I can't hear you.
It is an honor and a privilege to vote for this man.
Jack Subin,
Absolutely, yes.
Evelyn Strasser,
Absolutely. It's been long awaited. And Beth, I send my love. Yes.
Pat Singer,
An honor, yes, and hi, Beth. How are you? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Michael Silverman,
Absolutely, yes. Good night, everybody.
Tatiana Siegel,
Yes, good night.
Jeff Sanoff,
Yes, and good night.
Sam Runkovsky,
Yes, good night.
Michael Quinn,
Yes, Michael Quinn, good night.
Milagros Quillis,
Yes. Good night.
Nodra P,
Yes.
Robin Wright Harrison,
Yes, good night.
Alan Newman,
Yes, good night all.
Elena Machnin,
Absolutely. Yes. Good night.
Cynthia LaVille,
Yes, good night.
Amaryllis Herrera, okay,
Yes, good night.
I got you, okay. Arum Hanif,
Yes, good night, everyone.
Ronald Greenberg,
Yes, good night. A lovely Valentine's Day to all.
Selena Grant,
Yes. Good night, everyone. Be safe.
Olga Fort,
Yes.
Susan Flashenberg,
It was an honor to present the motion to the board, and of course, I vote yes.
Lolita Divalova,
Yes, good night.
Asad Dandia,
Yes, good night.
Joe Corrales, Joe, I can't hear you. He has to turn on his,
Oh, there you go.
Well, he can shake his head if he's on camera.
Okay, it's okay. Listen up. Well deserved. Yes.
Okay.
See you at our breakfast.
All right, Marion Cleaver,
Definitely yes.
Mario Caggiano,
Yes.
Dion Brown,
Yes, good night all.
Lakeisha Bowers,
Yes, good night.
Zunair Ahmed.
Yes, good night, all.
Perfect.
Okay, so I will take Ron Greenberg's wording. Everyone have a blessed Valentine's Day. Give a lot of hugs, kisses to all those who you, maybe not those that you love at the moment, but try.
And Black History Month too.
And Black History Month, thank you, Eddie. But I don't want to start with all of that because then I got to go down the whole list because every month is another holiday. But thank you all again. Thank you for your service.
And happy birthday, Beth.
Thank you, Eddie.
Adios.
Happy
Good night.
Good night. Have a good night.
birthday. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, everybody.
Good night.